Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with an in-person client interview, not on Zoom or Riverside, but we've actually come to Harun's apartment in Manny to come and actually do this in-person client interview. I'm here with Mr. Marcus, my fellow webinar wizard, and Mr. Harun. How's it going, bro? Thank you for doing this, bro.
No, you're welcome, man. It's quite cool.
So we're going to let Harun talk a little bit about his offer. We're going to talk a little bit about how we've implemented webinar funnels for Harun to scale him to 50k USD a month, but I don't even know what the equivalent is in GBP.
Around 40 to 43.
40 to 43 GBP. So if you're in the UK, that's pounds. If you're in the US, that's dollars. So I'll start off and I'll let Harun obviously give people a little bit of context on you, your offer, and how you actually got into the space as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like everyone, I think I just started out with a lot of different side hustles. Started out doing affiliate, still do affiliate on the side, but built a business around that when I saw some success. Obviously started the coaching offer. Was doing a low ticket for, I would say, around a year. Didn't see much success, maybe making between 1.5k a month.
So this is TikTok Shop, by the way, for context.
Yeah, TikTok Shop, that's right. Did that for a year, didn't really see much success. Started getting into high ticket and working with a guy that was in like Serbia, which was George. And to be honest, for what he done on the back end for the webinars and stuff that we were running, I was quite surprised that we even made almost 7k a month, which we were doing. But that's when I came to you after I joined Callum's Inner Circle, and I was like, you know what, let's try something, because I felt as if I was being limited by my growth operator at the time, right? So started running that up with you guys, built a better offer, started charging more high ticket. You guys helped me break those limiting beliefs, and long story short, we're kind of here. I mean, it's weird to see, because even 3 months ago, I was sat at home 4 months ago, making nothing, like 7k a month, if that on a good month. And now, because of you two, literally, I moved into this apartment, and like you said, 50k plus USD months. It's kind of crazy.
Thank you.
It's weird. This isn't even for the whole video thing, but it's actually quite sick to see that I'm actually here because of these two fuckers. If I didn't find these guys, my life would actually be totally different, and to be honest, a lot worse, and I wouldn't even know any different. But yeah, man, it's sick.
The mic, so I want to give a bit of call. Because I remember when you joined Callum's Inner Circle, it's mainly like agency owners and freelancers and stuff. And I remember you put in the Discord, you sent can you review my landing page?
Yeah.
So I'm helping out in the community, whatever. And I clicked on it and it was like webinar, and I was like, eh? And I remember I DM'd you and we jumped on a call, and I remember thinking I didn't really know that a coach had actually joined.
Yeah.
And also that point on what you were saying about it's kind of weird, because most of our clients, right, they're already doing 30, 50, even Callum's doing 170 a month.
Yeah.
So when we make Callum an extra, 50, 60, 70, 80, it's kind of just more dough, I mean, it's not really at a point where...
It's amplifying it,
Yeah, it's amplifying it, but it's been really cool working with you, because we've kind of been able to come in at a bit of a stage where, you didn't even really have a GHL and stuff like that. No,
for real.
But I'll let you crack on and ask some questions.
It's almost like the butterfly effect though, isn't it? It's so weird that none of this would have happened if I didn't join Callum's Inner Circle and trust you guys with what you do. But it's at the same time, we've just ran it up so much, and with only 20k followers on TikTok, and that being the only source of real leads for us, it's crazy to say that we've done that much.
What's the equivalent of 20k on TikTok compared to IG?
I think it really depends, but I would say maybe 5k IG, if that, and then YouTube maybe it's 700.
Yeah.
Because the quality of leads is just so much better. But with TikTok, it's a totally different market, because all of your target avatars have to be on TikTok. Otherwise, how they're going to do TikTok Shop, right? So I just felt as if my time was better spent making TikToks rather than, do you know what I mean? On Instagram. Yeah. But again, there's always room for improvement everywhere.
Yeah, nice. Walk us through as well the offer. Before we kind of did the first few webinars, what was the offer looking like? And then how did that really shift over?
So obviously the first year before I even started doing webinars, I was charging £29 a month low ticket, which again, massive mistake, but I won't dive too much into that. Started doing webinars with George, and then initially we were charging if you'd even class this as mid ticket, 350 to maybe 400 on the high end.
Why webinars with George in the first place? Was that your suggestion or his suggestion?
Well, it's beggars can't be choosers. It was my only option, It was the only guy I knew. That's what I'm saying, bro. He was the only guy that I knew. He was yo, let's do a webinar. And I was all right, cool, let's do it. Because what was there to lose? All he was getting was commission. But there wasn't much commission to be gained since he couldn't really run a webinar. But we were charging mid-ticket, and gradually, every webinar, we were just increasing it gradually. So from 100 to 350 to 400, then we thought 750 to 997. It was always going up. And the more we upped it, the more we were making. It was just about overcoming those limiting beliefs and building an offer and a guarantee strong enough to, to rationalize that. So that's what we'd be doing. And again, like best month, 7K with George, probably on a bad month, maybe 3 or 4K. And that was, going on for 3 or 4 months. But I always knew that it was something that he just wasn't doing because like the systems were shit pretty much, and like the nurturing was shit. It was all very manual and improvising. Like one time we literally had to get a guy called Dylan Buckley to manually send SMS messages to 450 leads because the Twilio wasn't working. So I got Dylan to like literally individually message everyone, and I paid him like 50 quid. So that was the sort of webinar that we were running. It was just so like high maintenance for me. It was taking my time away from the content, which was obviously the most important part to get the leads. So I couldn't focus on that. I couldn't make quality content. I couldn't scale the part of the offer that was my side. And I was having to help him correct all his issues, which shouldn't have been happening.
And before we like kind of dive deeper a little bit into kind of like the offer and the shift with that, you talk about those limiting beliefs. Like, what were those limiting beliefs in terms of like switching from the low ticket to the high ticket?
I think it was just because like I was so used to like, it was like engraved into my brain that like, recurring revenue is all that matters in business. Like you have to have it recurring every month. Otherwise, what's the point? But it's like, I just never really thought as well that someone would be willing to pay thousands for an offer when they can go buy a £30 course. But then I worked out obviously the value discrepancy between that and built a really good guarantee behind it as well. So to the point where it actually makes sense. And then when you do it that way, it's like, okay, £10,000 guarantee behind this offer. They've got 6 months hands-on coaching that they're not going to get anywhere else. It's actually worth it because people will make that money back so long as they're committed.
It does feel good when we put your guarantee on the webinar slides
because
it's like the final fucking punch.
Yeah,
it's
bro,
like
sure.
after all of that, bang.
Nah, for sure. Literally, it makes a massive difference having that safety net for people because like they know that if they join, they're going to come off better as long as they stay committed and can put the work in to some degree.
Yeah. So can we talk a little bit about, obviously you work with you work with George.
Yeah.
Shout out George, poor George. Yeah. And then some other guys as well, but we're kind of in between George and then coming on board with us.
Of course.
Why did you feel the need to kind of like have someone handle the back end? Because I know you're obviously from an affiliate background, you are actually phenomenal at content. So why did you feel the need to actually get someone to, have real hands-on in the back end, as opposed to either just like learning it yourself or hiring individual people like a copywriter or a systems person?
Well, the main thing for me is like when you look at the top people in the space, they are focusing solely on the content and the side of it that only they can do, the side where like they are most valuable. And it was just a case of like, some days I'd look at my tasks and what I was doing and I kind of realized that it was just so low leverage and it wasn't meant to be for me because like I'm not good at these things, right? I'm not good at back end stuff. I'm good at making content and getting leads and running offers, but I'm not good at doing automations and doing things that you guys literally specialize in. So the net profit of working with somebody who can do that efficiently and properly, both with like the return they can give me and the time it saves me so that I can put that back into the content is just like invaluable. So it was just more so that like, I know you guys are going to do a good job of what you do. It's going to save me time, which gives me more time to put back into the content, which is the thing that I'm good at, so that I get more leads. You guys do the back end. And when I'm actually getting the leads, I know that they're not going to waste like they were with George. So that was the main thing for me. It's just having that clarity that, ruling out that I'm not the issue, if anything, because I couldn't rule that out before with George. But working with you guys who have obviously got proven results with Callum, other people, and you're doing 100k plus months with some clients. Like I knew that if I work with you guys, I'm giving myself the best opportunity to make it work.
Do you know when you were doing the webbies with George, were you booking calls?
No, this is what I'm saying. Like when I started working with you guys, I was so surprised with the amount of effort and like detail that goes into the back ends. Like with everything, like there's 33 pages on the Google Docs just for one webinar. There's scripts and funnels and questions for everything, bro. And it's like, what the fuck? Like me and George had about 2 WhatsApp messages and manually sending out text messages, that was it. But with you guys, it's like top to bottom, it's just full of stuff. And I couldn't even begin to start with what there is. It's just amazing what you guys do.
And you were actually taking, so for context, Harun for the first webinar, the one that we did, 40 whatever it was in pounds, I just got it 50k USD because that's the number I remember. You were actually taking the calls. You took all the calls for that offer. How did you find like obviously you're not a closer, right? But you are the offer owner. How did you actually find the people on the calls? The good leads? Were they
Okay, this is a
qualified?
good one as well. So going back to with George, what we would do is we'd have the webinar and say we have like 50 people show up on a good day. All we do is send the Calendly link in at the end of the webinar, and literally anybody could book. No qualifying, no type form, no like, do you know what I mean? It would just be random ass people that I'd be wasting my time on with, you know, and just jumping on calls with. And obviously at the time I thought it was worth it because I was making like 5K, which was a big step up from the low ticket. But looking at it now, you know, it's like, wow, what was I doing? But with you guys, obviously we qualify everybody. We make sure they know what they're getting themselves into. We, you know, we handle them as well. There's not many no-shows because we've got like a proper call sequence. And I quite enjoy the sales part of it now because I know, again, like I'm going to be getting rewarded for my time. I'm not just speaking to people who are taking the piss. I'm speaking to people who are highly qualified and are ready to jump into it. So I'm fine with it. I like the skill as well. I like learning it. I think it's quite fun.
And that first day as well of closing calls, walk us through like how that felt. You know, I feel like you did like a 12K, 15K day.
Bro, yeah, no, that was mad. That was mad. Like, honestly though, if I'm being totally honest, like emotion wise, like there was nothing there because like I was so burnt out. Yeah. Like I was burning the candles at both ends because like I just hopped off the webinar. I had about 10 calls, you know, the entire week, every single day. But I did like a 14. Yeah, bro, it was worth it, man. 14K day, 11K day, like was it a 6K day, something like that, all back to back to back. Then I went to Sardinia, which is in Italy, closed a fuck more load of people there as well. And I was looking at the week, it was like, I was looking at the week, bro, I was like 30K week, and it was just like one of those moments, like one of those like pinch me moments, like, yo, I've really done this shit. You know, and those moments do exist though. Like I remember pre seeing any success with this stuff, like I didn't ever think that I would feel this way. I just thought that I'd always want the next thing. And like, of course I do, like I always want the next thing, but equally that most of my life, most of my days now do just sort of feel like pinch me moments. Like even living here, doing what I'm doing now, like it is like, yo, this shit actually does work out. You know?
And this was also with, how many people did we actually get on the first one? Was it like 280?
Yeah,
I think we had like
280.
we had 230 at pitch.
Yeah.
And then
First ever
like
as well.
200 people apply.
Yeah.
And then obviously I'm glad we had the type form there because that's the case where
man.
if we had to just put the Calendly link in, bro, it would have been fucking bedlam.
Well, this is it, yeah, 100%. It would have been about fucking,
And how have you noticed the difference in the actual, because obviously if you're doing the webinar, you're doing the closing, but then you're also doing a lot of the fulfillment as well.
Right.
How have you found the people who actually come into the program after watching a webinar versus just like people who come in just evergreen? Like, are the clientele better?
100%, because like they know what they're getting themselves into, and they're usually serious clients, because people that are going to watch a 90-minute webinar are not stupid. They're not going to waste your time. And again, like you're qualifying them on the call as well. So by the time they come into the program, people will assume that like, oh, they're going to be like on a massive arsehole, or they're going to nag me 24/7 because they've just paid me a lot of money. But in reality, they nag you less than someone who's paid £30, because it's a different like caliber of client, because they're serious. They know that value isn't measured by time and you sitting on the phone to them all day. It's measured by knowledge and what you can give them, and they can go take that away and apply it. So I think that, yeah, man, the clients are sick. I love them all.
Nice. And then as well, what we tried to fix with the kind of second webinar we ran about, a week ago?
Yeah, last week.
Is we tried to implement better sales systems. So bring in a closer, right? To try and help Harun get away from those calls. So how has that experience kind of been with having a closer, and also we've also brought in a setter for you as well? How has that kind of helped moving into the second one?
Yeah, shout out Ben and Jim.
Yeah, no, again, it's just less draining as well. And like, I think it's really important that you get all the calls done as fast as possible. And when you're booking like 50 to 70 calls off the back of a webinar, if you did that on your own, like even if you're taking 10 calls a day, it's going to take you like over a week sometimes, right? So with JMail, we can get it all finished within 3-4 days, get it cleared up, get the plan for the next one going, and not waste any time.
Yeah.
Because again, those clients or those prospects that book a call that is longer than 3 or 4 days after the webinar, they're going to be quite shit. They're not going to be very qualified. Whereas we catch them early, you got them in the net, you can close them, and it also saves me time and a lot of energy that beforehand was obviously burning me out a lot.
Yeah, and we booked calls on the night of the last webinar, didn't we? And you closed straight away 2K PIF.
Yeah, man.
This time as well, what we implemented is we tried TikTok ads. So we did like $460, I believe, spend on the ads. And within the same night, we made 2K GBP back.
Yeah, 4x ROAS in the same night.
On the same night, and we've worked out as well. We've done nearly a 10x ROAS on the back.
I think the next one will be massive, because we know what to do with ads. We can increase the ad budget a lot, and we can do it a lot earlier. Yeah. Like this one, to be honest, man, like I was lazy with the content, and we still did like what, 25K, if that. Because I've just moved here, obviously settling in and stuff has been long. Meant to have like a 10-day build up, but I probably promoted for like 7 days. Didn't really post videos some days. Didn't post on YouTube at all. Only posted on TikTok. Went live a few times, but we still managed to do that much money.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think that's where the ads are really going to come in.
It is.
How do you find that? Because this is something that we do, a lot of the time for clients, which is where I think we differ a little bit from a lot of the other kind of agencies that offer webinars. Their flagship stuff is they'll do them every week, or they'll do them automated, and they'll kind of just like try and pump them out as much as you can. How have you found the kind of like the monthly webinars with the big week, and then for the rest of the month you can kind of just like go and rebuild?
Man, perfect timing. You cannot do it. Like it's so perfect. You can't do it more than once a month in most cases, but anything longer than once a month, you're just leaving money on the table. Once a month's great because again, you've got a massive build up, whether that's 7 days or 10 days. You've got the day of the webinar, you've got all the calls following. So that alone takes 2 weeks. But you've also got a plan for that. And you've got a plan after that as well. And you've got to scale internally. You've got to make sure that you can deliver on the service that you're promising people as well. So those 2-3 weeks spare are really important to deliver, scale it internally, make things better. So by the time you run another one, the offer's even better. Otherwise, you're always just going to be sort of behind on time.
Yeah.
So I think that it works so fucking well.
Yeah, it is a nice cadence. And what do you think about the actual deck that we put together for you? How do you feel presenting it? Do you feel like we get all the points across properly?
It's amazing, man, because like, it's funny, like these guys do all the slides for me. They write it all for me as if they were me, right? But I don't even revise the slides. I just hop on the webinar on the night and just click through.
Yeah, bro, you are a very good presenter. I remember before the first one that we did, because obviously you'd done a few before. You were like, I'll cook. And when you jumped on the first one, I was kind of like, I wasn't nervous, but the skill of the presenter does make a massive difference. It actually does. And then when I saw you just pinging through the slides, I was like, yeah, man, we're going to make dough.
No, for sure, bro. Like, I was nervous as well because having that many people on, like jumping from fucking 50 with George and manual SMS messages to that many people live watching me was nerve-wracking, especially when I didn't revise any of the slides. But yeah, no, it was all very clear. It was worded in a way that was obviously... easy to read as well because like there wasn't so many different lines all in one slide and misformulated. It's all very consistent. It's all the same font. When there's like something to say after a line, if I have to skip slides, you'll put like ... so I know what's coming next and not to stop the sentence. But yeah, man, it's smooth and it saves so much time. Beforehand, I was doing all the slide decks myself as well.
Yeah. Do you have a question?
I mean, I think the final one for me, my questions is just what would you say to somebody who's kind of on the edge of webinars? Because a lot of people we realized recently is they think it's just all about like, sell a 497 or a 997 course at the end of it. But we like to book calls and stuff like that. So for somebody who's a high ticket coach consultant and they want to book more calls, they want to book 50, 60, 70 calls like you do, what would you say to them if they're kind of on the edge of actually running them?
Bro, you actually are, like, no cliche, missing out on life-changing money. Like, you really are. Because to assume that you can just sell a high-ticket offer without a proper system and a proper funnel and, like, a proper, back end is impossible. You can't just put a link in your bio or a VSL funnel. It's so outdated. No one's going to buy. And if they are, it's going to be 10 times less than what you get off the back of a webinar. If you give someone out for free, you run a really good free webinar, you provide value, you build trust with your audience, you have good systems in place. If your offer's good enough and you know what you're doing, you'll make so much money and it will change your life. Because again, slapping a link in your bio and expecting someone to just buy from watching a video is never going to happen. You're shooting in the dark. But when you have a proper system in place like this, easy.
Yeah, I do feel like, especially for because obviously most of the leads are coming from TikTok, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a well-known thing in the industry that the leads on TikTok aren't, they're not phenomenal, right?
That's it.
But, we picked the right mechanism to make sure that people had to consume at least 90 minutes of information in order to even get on the phone. I feel like it just worked really well.
Nah.
And last question, I guess, is what you're looking forward to. We've got ads coming up.
Bro.
We're obviously going to build out the sales team even more. We are going to bang a call funnel for Evergreen as well for all the leads who, don't actually pay straight away on the webinar. But what else are you looking forward to?
Everything, man. Honestly, like the future. That's what I would say. The future, I'm looking forward to it, bro. Because like, again, I'm already living my dream life here with what I've got. I don't need much more. Like, I'm not trying to buy the next dream apartment or this specific house. I just want to keep scaling and doing as much as possible with you guys and scaling the offer. And if eventually I have to pivot my offer and change it completely from TikTok shop to fucking high ticket consulting coaches or whoever I want to target, I know that I'll always have you guys in my corner to run up the webinars and get the offer off the floor straight away and go from 0 to 30, 40, 50K off the back because we know what we're doing.
Nah, I really appreciate that.
But yeah, man, it's sick.
Yeah, bro, it's so good with your stuff as well, because once you do like the first 2, you can see like, right, the landing page is converting great, the market wants it, our show rate is good, we're booking above industry average on calls, so we know that when we introduce ads into the equation as well, especially on TikTok,
I'm looking forward to that.
that we actually know we have something that we can scale without breaking. So ads is...
Yeah, one more thing I'm looking forward to as well is, again, this is all the traffic at the moment has came from organic on TikTok, and obviously the last one we ran a bit of ads, but again, I'm looking forward to the ads on TikTok. I think we'll do numbers from that, especially when we master that, which we always have. And we have more time to sort of cook the leads as well, because we rushed it last time. It was like 3 days. Ads on TikTok, but also scaling my Instagram profile and my TikTok, my YouTube profile as well, because again, just 2 massive new sources of lead gen that I'm not really utilizing right now, which I will be utilizing. And I think when we get all of those 3 things mastered by the new year, damn man, it's going to be generational.
Bro, I'm gassed. Ladies and gents, you know where to find us. I'm not even going to tell you to check the link in the description or whatever, because
You've got to join.
you know what to do anyway. Growth operators, we do done with you. Offer owners, we'll do what you've done for the man here. And love you all. See you soon.